Hello, everybody. It's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by today. Today's beer comes from Trillium Brewing. These guys are out of Boston, Massachusetts. This is an 8%er. IwanttoBU double IPA. And this looks like it's a collab. Got Trillium Brewing on this side and the Veil Brewing on this side. And Trillium, like I said, is up in Boston. And Veil Brewing is out of Richmond, Virginia, here in Virginia, about 3 hours from me. 8%er, like I said, doesn't have the IBUs on rate beer. Let me see if I can find out on Untapped. Does not have it listed, so we don't know what the IBUs are. Commercial description on this says, this past August we were fortunate to be part of the inaugural Forever Summer Festival hosted by the Veil at their brewery in Richmond, where JC met owner head brewer Matt Tarpey. Matt's approach to brewing breaks from conventionalism by pushing boundaries and methodologies. IwanttoBU blends Trillium techniques and house character with the Veil's unique brewing style to create an incredibly flavorful and aromatic hop-forward beer with no kettle hop additions. IwanttoBU is a zero IBU beer. Very interesting, with no hop additions in the kettle. A large whirlpool addition of El Dorado, Simcoe Citra, and Citra Lupulin powder, plus a massive dry hop 4 pounds per barrel of Citra and Simcoe. The nose is filled with notes of pine needles, citrus zest, and plum. Flavors of lemongrass and citrus emerge on the palate. Complemented by a dark piney character, the beer finishes with a mild bitterness and malty backbone. Very unique style there, by not having any hop additions in the kettle. So I don't know how they're bittering this beer and just loading it up on the back end. So we'll see what this brings to the table. This was sent to me by Greg. So thanks again, my brother Greg, for sending me all these wonderful Trillium beers you said. They do some pretty damn tasty stuff there. And just about everything I've had from there, maybe for one exception, has been A beers. So we'll see what this one brings to the table. So without further ado, while I pop the cap or the top or whatever you want to call this little tab, cuisine is barbecue. Cheeses are peppery, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar, your stronger cheeses. Very orangey, orange juicy looking coming out, and most of the beers are. The meat for this is grilled meat and salmon, stronger cheeses. Flash for a snifter, tulip, oversized wine glass. Got my favorite snifter. And of course it's 8%, so Rate Beer says it's, Beer Advocate says you can sell it. Don't do that. You'll regret it. That looks just like orange juice, guys. Very, very cloudy. Unfiltered beer. Didn't pour a massive head, just barely covering the top of the beer here. Let's get a nose on it. Oh. Very pungent hop aroma. Very citrusy, piney, grapefruit, pineapple. Hints of oranges. Mango. A lot going on in this beer. A lot of their beers are like that though. I'm just curious to see how balanced this beer is going to be, since they didn't do any hop additions in the kettle. I don't know how they bittered the beer, if it's going to be a big sweet mess or it's going to be pretty tasty. Let's find out. Cheers everybody. Cheers Greg. It smells wonderful. That works. For a double IPA, it doesn't have a huge bittering on the back end, but it's not a super sweet mess either. I'm very surprised that they didn't use any bittering hops on this, and they said the hop additions on the back end there. Wow, very interesting. I have never tried that during my brewing process. I'm not adding the bittering hops at the beginning of the boil. May have to try that. See if I end up with a big sweet mess. Be more like a barley wine unless you dry hopped it. That works though. Very, very nice. Very impressive. Now we got it all into the glass. Boy, it looks just like orange juice in the glass, guys. Incredible. These guys at Trillium got it going on. Whoever the head brewer there is, and like I said, they did a collab between Vail and Trillium on this. It's working on this one. And with those hops that they used with the Eldorado and Eldorado, Simcoe Citra, and Citra Lupulin powder. So they've used a hop powder on this too. And then a massive 4 pounds per barrel of Citra and Simcoe dry hopping. So a lot of hops in this beer, and you can tell it. Definitely a West Coast style, up in your face, slapping you in the face with the hops. Very nice. Very well done. Well, let me sip on this right out of the fridge, let her have a taste or two, and then probably going to have to pry it out of her hand and sip on it for just a little bit, see what we end up with. I'm impressed right now, especially with no bittering hops being used. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on this about 30-35 minutes or so now. I'm amazed how well balanced this beer is when they didn't do any bittering hop additions and just put all the hops in on the back end and dry hopping it. Maybe the lupulin powder that they used added enough bitterness to it on the back end to do that. I'm not aware of how that worked, but it worked on this one. I mean, it's not a super sweet mess. It's pretty damn tasty, and very pleasantly surprised. It's a very nice beer. It really is. So let's do the final chug here. Wonderful aroma, and everything that Trillium does is usually pretty outstanding. I've only had one that ended up in the B category that I've had from them, and everything else has been A's, and most of them have been 10s. So very unique way of doing a beer, and it worked on this one. So final chug. Not seen any of the Vail beers from Richmond over here in this part of Virginia. And Richmond is about 3 hours away. Not that far away, so I don't know how big Vail Brewing is or how far they distribute it out, but I have not seen them here. And with this going on between them and Trillium, very impressive. So I would like to get my hands on some of the Vail Brewing beers. They may come all the way to Charlottesville, I'm not sure, but they're not coming to this part of Virginia, the Roanoke-Salem area, or I've not seen them if they do. So be interesting to get my hands on some of the Vail Brewing beers. So guys, very impressive beer here. Date on the bottom of the can says 11/8 of 2016. So, and today is 11/22. So this beer is only 21 days old. I cannot buy beers here, and I've had this beer probably a week already. So impressive, you guys that can get these beers that fresh. And in Trillium, more likely Greg had to go to the brewery to get this, because I don't think they distribute it at all. You buy it at the brewery, and that's how it works. So very nice, very, very nice. Greg, thanks a bunch, my brother, for sending me all the awesome Trillium beers that you did. This is pretty impressive. I am just amazed that they're able to accomplish what they did by not adding any bittering hops. Kind of blown away by that. I might have to try that, and hopefully I don't end up with a big sweet mess. So very nice. Guys, to me, I'm probably going to go against the grade just a little bit on this one, but I thought it was outstanding. I really did. Date on the bottom of it, the ABV on it. Doesn't have the IBUs listed because if they didn't have any bittering hops, there are no IBUs, and I don't understand how that's working. I just don't understand. It's got to have some bitterness to it, or you're going to end up with a big sweet barley wine or something like that. It's just going to be overly sweet. So, very pleasantly surprised and confused how that worked on this beer. So, very nice. Very impressed. So, yeah, I'm going to give it to 10. 100 for me, guys. And like I said, I'm probably going to go against the grade on this. Gregsbeer doesn't have a score. They've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've only got 6 guys, and most of them have put it into the B category, except for one. He's got it in the A- category. So not a lot of these guys were impressed as much as I am with this. So, I'm probably saying I'm more impressed with the brewing technique of not adding any bittering hops and still coming up with something as tasty as this and not being a big sweet mess. So very impressive in the brewing technique there. So that's why I'm saying I'd like to get some stuff from Vail Brewing out of Richmond if they're doing that kind of process on some of their other beers. So impressed. I was impressed. But over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate has it at 93 in the outstanding range. I thought it was considerably better than a 93. 93 is an A-. I gave it 7 digits more than that, being a 100. And I could have gave it a 9. But why? I mean, it's a very, very tasty beer. It's very easy drinking for an 8%er. So, very well done. Impressed. I'm really impressed with the brewing techniques and what I ended up with in the glass on this. So, because I was really expecting it to be a big, sweet mess, and it's not. So, hands off, 2 thumbs up to the guys up there for the way they did this beer. I'm impressed. Alright, for our final check-in, guys, we're running over to Untapped. They have it at 4.42. Damn impressive numbers from those guys over there, too. So, and usually the Trillium guys get some really impressive numbers because they know, whoever the head brewer is knows what they're doing. And this one worked. It definitely worked. Pleasantly surprised. I was afraid this was going to be a B beer or worse, and it's not. So, very tasty. So if you've had this one from Trillium/Vail Brewing, this is their IwanttoBU double IPA. Very impressive. I am impressed with this, the way they did this beer. If you've had it, let me know what you think, guys. Come on back tomorrow. Hopefully we can dig something as tasty as this out of the fridge. I think I've got another Treehouse, yeah, in the fridge. Maybe we'll grab that tomorrow. Come on back. We'll find out. See you then.